Today on 7th Circle Gaming, we analyze Asterigos, Curse of the Stars, and after a bit of full disclosure, which you are welcome to read if you're so interested, we'll take a look at a couple of screenshots. In our first screenshot, as we usually do, we talk about the in-game world and the user interface. The world of Asterigos is quite complex, as it encompasses the genres of high fantasy, medieval, and post-apocalyptic. Thankfully, the user interface is quite a bit simpler, as it occupies only three main areas: the top left, where the quest tracker can be found, the bottom left, where indicators for various consumables, as well as character health and stamina, and an XP indicator can be located. At the bottom right, there's an indicator for the magic points, as well as the currently unlocked and equipped special ability. In our second screenshot for you today, we're going to be illustrating the second main area of the game, which is inventory management. Obviously, all of the in-game items are going to have statistics attached to them, and while they do have some impact on the appearance of the character, it is these statistics, we believe, that will impact the player's decision about what to equip or what not to equip. Speaking of, in our next screenshot, we're going to be illustrating the upgrade paths available to the player. Now, the talent points or ability points are gained in the usual way, either by consuming potions or as a reward for leveling up. All of the weapons in the game have various special abilities attached to them. And of course, those abilities do have statistics for players to examine and analyze. And with all of our screenshots out of the way, we now move on to our first proper chapter, which is, as always, immersion. Well, here the game has earned a 6 out of 15, and players that are more familiar with the idea of medieval high fantasy are going to be able to relate to the game more than players that aren't. The story, likewise, will be more impactful to players that spend more time with it and engaging in conversations with the NPCs surrounding or occupying the in-game world. Now then, let's move on to difficulty. Here the game has earned a 5 out of 15. The game does have only basic difficulty options, and while it claims it can be played with a keyboard, a mouse, or a controller, we can't necessarily see why anyone would play through it with a keyboard and mouse. One reason is that the camera can be something of a challenge, and the game takes place very often in narrow corridors, which gives the camera a lot of things to get stuck on. Speaking of those in-game objects, in something of a nod to real physics, objects that can become aerosolized like flour, coffee creamer, etc. do become highly explosive, something that the game doesn't really communicate to the player, all of which combine to suggest that the difficulty option that the player selects may not be representative of the actual difficulty they experience. We would just add here, finally, that some of the weapon types do seem more optimal to us than others. So then, what is going to keep players playing through the game and keep the game installed on hard drives? Here the game has earned a 4 out of 15. We don't have any additional notes on this page. You're welcome to read through all of this. So let's move on to the overall score. Overall, Asterigos, Curse of the Stars has earned a 5 out of 15. Some highly subjective statements, so please have your grains of salt on offer. First of all, the game is very squarely in the Souls-light genre, and players can easily fail their way to success here. Some self-immersion may be required to continue playing through the game, at least until players get to the point that they've really become invested by communicating or conversing with the NPCs and engaging with the mystery story of the game. Likewise, we would add here as a final note that there is some uniqueness in the enemy designs and attacks. Certainly the enemy that uses a belly flop as their primary attack is somewhat unusual. Now then, as we don't have anything else to say about the game, we thank very much all of those who watched all the way to the end of the video. We look forward to seeing you on the next one, and from 7th Circle Gaming, goodbye.